No. 911, 911, please. She's not responsive. Oh my God, oh my God.
I'm standing by. Why can't I take a shower while you stand by? What is...
Is she breathing? No. Oh my God, baby. It was, but it turns off. I've been checking.
This is the desperate sound of a doctor performing CPR on her toddler. The reason?
What are you reporting?
She was in the car sleeping. She's on the...
The baby was locked in a hot car in her home.
And how long was she sleeping in the car out there?
I want to say it was no more than 30, 45 minutes.
It was every parent's worst nightmare. He thought she was inside, but she was still in the car.
I swore she was in the house playing with her sisters like she always does. Every 30 minutes or so it'll turn off if you haven't moved.
But there was something the father wasn't telling the officers. Something dark. The mother let it slip.
It was, but it turns off. I've been checking.
She was too late to save her daughter.
She's dead. Like, I need to be with her next.
Oh my God, my nose!
What was this man hiding? What really happened that hot afternoon? Hello, and welcome to the channel, where we will talk about just how dire the consequences are within minutes when it comes to children. This is the story of little Parker Schultz, when her dad locked her up in a hot car to sit in the driveway as he played video games and got drunk. Not surprisingly, this wasn't the first time it happened. In fact, when detectives interviewed the rest of the children, shocking details came to the surface. Despite being accused of first-degree homicide, his wife came to his aid, defending his selfish, cold, brutal negligence. Why? What could possibly be more important than your child? It was on the 9th of July 2024 when a 37-year-old Marana, Arizona dad, Christopher Schultz, drove home with his children. Previously having served in the Army, this was a completely different lifestyle from the action. He was putting away groceries as 2-year-old Parker slept in the backseat of the car. Temperatures in Arizona can soar over 100 degrees, that is 40 degrees Celsius. That can be fatal. But Chris wasn't too worried. The car's air conditioner was on. He left the car running, hoping to get some things done before the toddler woke up. As he was putting things away, he got distracted by a video game. He decided to take a break from being a stay-at-home dad. Schultz checked on Parker once, and she was sound asleep, the car still on. Around 4 p.m., his wife, 35-year-old Erica Schultz, got home. She worked as an anesthesiologist at the Banner University Medical Center and was a well-respected doctor. Tragically, the Arizona PD received a frantic 911 call.
What's going on?
My baby was in the car. She's not responsive.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to transfer you to medical dispatcher. Stay on the line.
Oh my God, oh my God.
Erica found little Parker unconscious.
What are you reporting?
She was in the car sleeping. She's unresponsive.
Okay, and who is she?
Please.
Who
My
is she?
daughter. My daughter.
And this was out in the driveway?
Yes.
Chris had to search all the rooms in the house before remembering she was in the car. In the background, Erica was sobbing.
Is she still breathing?
No, she's not breathing right now.
Okay, we need to start CPR right now.
Yes, we are. We're starting CPR, yes.
The help is on the way to you. I need to hear CPR. I need them to count it out for me.
Parker was unresponsive. The inside of a car can be much hotter than the outside, with the heat packed up in a box with glass windows, essentially a greenhouse. So the 2-year-old had been in a car where temperatures can rise 30 degrees in 30 minutes without air conditioning.
1, 2, 3. My wife's a doctor. She's home.
Okay.
There is almost relief in Chris's voice as he tells the dispatcher about Erica, almost as if he's reassuring himself that the doctor wife will bring her back. Erica can be heard performing chest compressions, a sob in her voice, but focused on bringing her baby back. Chris seems oblivious to the fact that it might just be too late. In fact, he was looking for signs of life.
She's coughing. She's coughing.
That's me compressing.
Oh, that's compressing. Oh my God, baby.
A decompressing chest can look like a person is breathing, so he was hopeful. An impatient Erica snaps at him.
CPR is still going on.
Yeah, CPR is still going on.
Okay. You're going to perform that until the units arrive and take over for you.
Baby. 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 Baby.
Chris begs for the little one to fight for her life. He's having a panic attack, unable to help or do anything for Parker. At 4:20 p.m., emergency services arrived. A lot of this footage is blurred to protect the identity of personnel as well as people in the photographs in the Schultz home. The paramedics were trying their best to revive Parker as Erica sobbed. Being a doctor meant she knew what chances Parker had. Chris was just pacing and willing his daughter to live.
Do you have a wallet on you?
A wallet?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Or if not, you can say in here. Watch out. What's your first name?
Chris.
Chris?
Yeah.
Okay. Short for Christopher?
But his steps seem to be faltering as he is groggy. Is it the trauma of his daughter fighting for her life, or something else? The truth is a little incriminating. Chris had a problem. He was an alcoholic. Text messages with his wife would reveal he had replaced a cocaine addiction with alcohol. He had been trying unsuccessfully to schedule a doctor's appointment over the phone and decided to visit the office in person, bringing Parker along. On the way home, he stopped at both a gas station and a grocery store. Surveillance footage shows Schultz entering the stores alone, suggesting Parker was left in the hot car during both stops. At 12:07 p.m. on July 9th, security footage captured Chris at a Quick Trip convenience store on West Twin Peaks Road. He was seen taking 3 cans of beer from the cooler and spending a few minutes in the restroom before leaving the store with fewer beer cans than he had picked up. Next stop was a grocery store on North Thornydale Road, which he entered alone at 12:40 p.m. 7 minutes later, he went to self-checkout to pay for 2 jars of salsa, tortillas, tortilla chips, and iceberg lettuce. The video shows him shoplifting 2 more cans of beer. This could only mean one thing. Chris did not pay for the beer, and while it's unclear if he consumed any in the bathroom, the footage confirmed he shoplifted beer from both stops that day.
Please, baby. Please, baby. Please.
He sobs as Parker is strapped onto a stretcher. Chris did not want his wife to know about the beer cans. Using cards would show her just how much he got, and he was possibly low on cash that day, hence the theft. A costly one. The officer feels he has given Chris enough space, and so he begins to get a statement. But the father is flustered, irritated that he would be questioned during an emergency like this.
Why don't we have a seat somewhere, okay?
What's going on? Why are you with me?
Because we were first responders and we were on scene when anytime they call us, anything like this happens, they call us.
Patiently and being supportive of the tragedy, the officer asks Chris to step away as the medics work. Randomly, he tries to provide an explanation.
The AC was on.
But then he says what's actually worrying him.
Are you guys all here for my MDX?
The one parked
in the
outside?
driveway.
The black one? Okay.
The blue.
No blue.
The officer wanted to know about the car, but Chris inquired whether the officer was there to arrest him.
Are you guys here for me?
We're...
Yeah, we want to do everything we can now. That's why you have so many of us.
Another officer tries to explain, as Chris goes back into hyperventilating mode. But he did slip up, asking the real question casually. It wasn't possible to switch up tones this fast, going from panicked parent to casual-sounding suspect and back. This was something Erica had seen coming. Her texts from March 11th read, "You haven't shown me you can stop putting the girls in danger or not treat me badly. Even yesterday you drove home drunk with 2 minors. You drink to excess every time. You can never have just one. I've been asking for 3 years to cut back, and it's actually gotten worse." Chris did not deny it. He agreed he needed to find a better way to deal with it. He admitted being an addict and needing help, saying, "I'm a piece of shit addict and I need to get addicted to healthy things like running again." 10 days later, on March 21st, Erica was again reprimanding him for going 138 miles per hour with their baby in the car, alcohol in his system. He simply replied, "You hate me. She was sleeping. It's fine." So he had a real problem.
I feel my worst nightmare. Please, baby, please. Anything.
Just let them focus. You want to step outside? Hey, Chris.
His sincerity is questionable now as he paces and whimpers. Suddenly, little Parker was wheeled out. Erica, being a doctor, knew it was coming. As the officer questioned her, she explained she had to be with Parker.
She's dead. Like, I need to be with her right now.
Oh my God, my nose! No!
As Chris wailed, she walked away without looking at him. The officer began to explain the standard procedure, all the while observing Chris's reactions. The police report later detailed the state of the living room, suggesting someone had been gaming shortly before officers arrived. Chris Schultz's PlayStation was powered on, though the TV was off, and a gaming headset and controller were left on the coffee table. Next to them sat a half-empty bottle of Dr. Pepper and a reusable ice pack, which had gone warm, indicating it had been there for a while. A pillow on the couch was positioned so that someone had been sitting facing the TV, suggesting recent use of the gaming setup. These details painted a picture of a casual, possibly distracted atmosphere in the moments leading up to the emergency.
Yeah, they're going to Banner right now. We're going to keep you updated with everything, okay? We just need to stand by with you right now, all right? Is that your wife out there? Yes. Okay. We're going to make sure she gets down there okay, all right? We have officers escorting her down there. If we need to, we will drive her down there, and we'll make the same accommodations for you, all right?
Attempting to comfort himself, he had a glass of water as the EMS personnel prepared to leave. He agreed to sit down with the officers. Despite the tragedy, they had to get a statement.
We're just going to need to get a statement from you about what happened, what's been going on. Obviously, I know this isn't easy for you. Okay, it's not easy for anyone around right now. We're going to keep you updated with everything we hear. Do you want to sit down somewhere? Where would you be most comfortable?
Sure.
So far, Chris's reactions have been mixed, but the way he stumbles to the table seems genuine. His body language is that of a grief-struck parent. His shoulders are drooping. He can hardly do anything with himself.
That's it, is that all right?
It all boiled down to one important question. How did it happen? How could a toddler be left in the car so long that she lost her life, in the driveway of her very own home?
My daughters were at Elevate with my friend next door. They got home about 2:45 or so.
The elder sisters were 5 and 9 and had been at a trampoline park with a neighbor. This neighbor would turn out to be the only person who had anything nice to say about his parenting, calling him a good father. The rest, they would tell another story.
Just been hanging out at home. She was sleeping in the car, and I had the car on. But it has a sensor where like every 30 minutes or so it'll turn off if you haven't moved.
Chris's Acura MDX had a feature where the parked car's engine would turn off automatically in 30 minutes unless there was some sort of activity.
Christopher Schultz told cops his daughter Parker was asleep in the car.
Now, a toddler strapped to the back seat would be helpless. She wouldn't have been able to touch any buttons or honk the horn.
I swore she was in the house playing with her sisters like she always does.
So he forgot her in the car, assuming she was playing with her sisters.
Didn't do anything else really on the house. And
It was hard for him to go on.
we always park that car in the garage usually, but I just got a Peloton recently, and the Peloton is in the garage now, so that's why it's not even in the garage. But
The officer asks a very important question.
And how long was she sleeping in the car out there?
I want to say it was no more than 30, 45 minutes. And I don't think their air was off that entire time. I think there was a time in between. I had checked on her last. It was still running. She was still sleeping. And then when I went back out, the car was off.
If the engine was running and the air was on, why would she lose her life? Chris wasn't being honest. Surveillance footage from the neighborhood cameras would reveal the shocking truth. Parker wasn't in the car for half an hour. She had been left in the car for over 3 hours. Chris's car could be seen pulling into the driveway at 12:53 p.m. He took groceries inside and Parker was in the car. The other girls got home as well. They would later say to the officers that they didn't know Parker was in the car, or else they would have gotten her out. They had been left in the car numerous times before. He browsed the internet, going through a men's clothing store, Nordstrom, from 2:02 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., even watching pornography for 5 minutes. The policeman informed him that he had to go down to the station with them, as this was a case of child negligence. Up until now, this was being treated as an accident, and they were only following protocol.
I don't want to feel like we're intruding, but we're going to have to stand by with you for a while. All right?
Is there a reason why?
So any death, we have to treat like a crime scene. But that's what's going to be going on for right now, okay?
So I'm being treated like a murderer?
No.
I just lost my baby.
Not at all. I know that. And I know this isn't easy for you. That's why I'm trying to be straightforward and honest with you, okay? I don't want to keep any secrets. I don't want to hide anything for you. Someone's going to talk to you about what happened, though.
He was angry that the police were treating him as a suspect when they were only following standard operating procedures.
We will keep you updated with everything.
My whole family's gonna be ruined.
These words are important. He is disassociating, saying, "My whole family is going to be ruined," deflecting any responsibility. In reality, he had been texting Erica, which went something like this. "Erica, I told you to stop leaving them in the car. How many times have I told you?" To which he replied, "Babe, I'm sorry." She messaged again, "We've lost her. She was perfect." He managed a grief-struck, "Babe, our family. How could I do this? I killed our baby. This can't be real."
We'll be all right. So we can't let you do that right now. We have to stand by with you, okay? As soon as you can, we will let you know.
You can stay in the room if you want, but I'm gonna talk.
I know this isn't easy for you, but the quicker we get this done and finish up, the sooner you can be with your wife. All right?
I'm trying to rinse off so I can go to the hospital
but
to be with my wife.
we're not going to shower or anything right now. You need to stand by with us.
I don't understand why.
Okay? Please.
I don't understand why.
I tried explaining that to you. We just need to stand by
And
with
I'm
you.
standing by. Why can't I take a
know.
shower while you stand by? What is...
It's not necessary right now. Okay. I'm not going to stand here and watch you shower.
Being angry about not taking a shower, he is passive-aggressive in a very childish way. But this is suspicious because now the officers are alert. This house is a crime scene right now, and nothing should be disturbed. Chris Schultz gave a statement and was released that day. Accidents happen. However, a further investigation brought out some surprising details. Neighbors described Schultz's parenting as careless, with incidents discussed in neighborhood chats. There were so many instances. A neighbor specially called the police after Parker's tragedy to tell them this had happened before. One child knocked on a neighbor's door without Schultz realizing she had left the house. One of the daughters got lost during Halloween. A diapered child was seen outside unsupervised on multiple occasions. The girl's preschool teacher found a diapered child at her door and returned her, thinking it was an isolated incident. A neighborhood mom avoided letting her children be alone with Schultz due to safety concerns. It wasn't just neighbors. In 2019, a stranger called 911 and reported Chris leaving his young children alone in a car outside a pizza restaurant for over 15 minutes. He was let off with a simple warning. Where was Erica? She was busy with work. Many of the neighbors said they had never met her. More information came forward when the children's 16-year-old half-sister spoke up.
It makes plenty of sense. I'm surprised that it didn't happen sooner.
The daughter, who remains anonymous, described her life with her father.
First time he did it was with me when I was younger than 7. I had to go sit out in the car for 4 to 5 hours and continuously had to restart the car. I'd only eaten once that day.
She first met her father when she was 5 and, after a custody battle, was left to live with him for 4 years of her life. As a type 1 diabetic, not being fed for hours could have been fatal for her.
Not even just because of the heat, but so many other things could happen, leaving a child unattended in a vehicle.
She would often be left alone in the car, and the younger surviving siblings verified the story, that she would often start the car for them as they sat in the car on multiple occasions. Eventually, after attempting to take her own life, she was allowed to live with her mother. Even after her mother's passing, custody was granted to a close friend. She was very little when she called the police on her father, fearing for her life because she lost some money and didn't want to go home, afraid that he would hit her. Her mother had to come pick her up from a police station at 2 a.m. when she was only 6 because she had slipped out of the house and was found on a street corner. There are records of the teen testifying during the custody battle. She complained of being slapped, thrown against the wall, with Chris pulling her hair and pushing her head into walls, picking her up by her shirt sleeve. Her new guardian, Lindsay Eisenberg, knew how abusive he was.
I'm so happy that I can help her and that she's here and safe. And doesn't have to go through any more of anything. Now it's just the healing process and being able to grieve in a safe space.
On the 12th of July, Erica opened the door and wasn't too surprised to see the police standing there.
You have Chris come out to us, please.
Chris,
Always the calmer and more practical one, she can be seen handling the situation calmly.
Alright, can you step out real quick, man?
come on.
Alright, so, remember how I talked?
Can we do this maybe out here so the kiddos don't have to hear?
One is sleeping and one's next door.
Chris, however, has a harder time.
Right, we have determined that there's probable cause to go ahead and charge you for what happened, okay?
Let's come out here, Christopher.
No.
It's okay.
No. Okay, so, listen. No.
He falls to his knees as the officer reads his charges.
This doesn't change what's going on, okay? What happens at this point, it's simple, okay? What happens at this point is...
The officer is very patient with Chris. This isn't just him reacting to the arrest.
The consequences of what happened, all right? But what I'm going to ask of you...
Don't make this difficult.
Okay.
I just want you to stand here. But come on, Chris. Let's go out here.
It is the reality of what happened, hitting him with full force. He just lost a child. The officers at the scene are very considerate, helping him cope with the arrest as well.
I'm not resisting.
I know.
Just relax. Just relax. Just
I need
relax,
you to
Christopher.
I need you to listen.
Just
okay?
relax.
Will you go
Just
get your
relax.
shoes?
The policeman reminds him they have to be quick as they don't want to traumatize the remaining children.
I don't want the kids to see Dad get hauled off.
Am I gonna be there for the baby?
That's going to be between you and Chris.
Chris asks helplessly if he can attend his little girl's funeral. His wife steps forward again, comforting him.
I love you. There you go.
Chris, I'm gonna be here and I'll take care of everything.
I love you. I love you.
One thing is different about this case. The entire body cam footage makes sure to keep the privacy of the Schultz. Erica's face is especially blurred, and the interior of their home is blurred. Similarly, the names and identities of all relatives is highly protected. Could they possibly know someone in the law enforcement agency?
As good as I can do my dad's. We'll do a second. Thank you.
Chris's mother-in-law was furious.
No heart. No f***ing heart at all.
You go with
Yeah.
Mom, have a conversation.
Yeah.
So, I know there's a lot going on, and I know you're angry, and it's okay to be angry, okay?
She can be heard cursing, saying they have no heart. It is possible that she is not aware of the entire circumstances surrounding Parker's tragedy.
His daughter, he's suffering.
I know.
The funeral.
Mom, he knows.
I know.
Mom.
I know he's feeling the guilt. I know he's feeling anguish. I can't change the law.
Later on, Erica came to his aid during a hearing so that he would be released on bond.
No one understands how great of a tragedy this is more than myself, my girls, my remaining 2 daughters, and Christopher. So not only do we have to move forward with grieving for my daughter, but we potentially could be losing their father. No one else shares this bond and this trauma like all of us, all 4 of us. I know the significance of the tragedy, and I don't want you to think for a second that I underestimate the impact that it has on our lives, on everyone's lives.
It was true. Only those closest could truly understand what losing Parker meant.
So I'm just asking if you can allow him to come home to us so we can all start the grieving process so that he can bury our daughter with us this upcoming week, and that we can go through this whole process together as a family.
In a shocking turn of events, the judge released him without bond. He is currently awaiting trial. The conditions of his release are that he cannot be unsupervised with his children, and so Erica has taken an extended leave of absence from work. When Chris showed up later, he looked like a completely different person. He was clean-shaven, with a haircut, wearing a suit, a model citizen.
Do you have anything to say about the charges against you? Were you shocked that they raised the charges to first-degree murder? Do you feel that accurately conveys what happened? Text messages with your wife about it. It seems she's told you to not leave kids in the car before. Anything you have to say to that?
The news personnel tried to question him, but he remained tight-lipped. His charges have been updated to first-degree homicide as well as domestic violence.
I'm sure we pleaded not guilty as to both counts. I have reviewed my client's rights with him.
He is currently awaiting trial, a pattern of negligence that resulted in a terrible tragedy. But accidents do happen, and no parent of sound mind would willingly want to harm their child. For a war veteran to have to deal with such loss can be challenging. Many believe Erica is being too cold about Parker. However, it is obvious that she believes he didn't mean harm. Perhaps it was his substance abuse and addiction to video games that caught up to him. Whatever the case, the trial in July of 2025 is going to decide the fate of this father. Do you think he should be in jail, if at all? Was he truly an unlucky father, or did he willingly leave his toddler out in the Arizona heat for selfish reasons? Let us know in the comments below.